Hey everybody, welcome to another NHLTradeTalk.com/recap report. My name is Jim Parsons. We are going to talk about the Ottawa Senators this morning. It is Thursday, November 28th today. Frank Saravalli of Daily Faceoff had an interesting report on his live show on Wednesday, talking about the Senators and their struggles. They are second last in the Atlantic Division right now. They are talking about potentially shaking up their core, and the name that is being mentioned the most in trade talks is Josh Norris. Now, here's a guy who has high ceiling, but has a lot of injuries on his career and his resume, and there's some concern that maybe he's not going to get back to full health and that he could be tradable. If the Senators are going to shake things up, you're not probably looking at like a Tim Stützle or a Brady Tkachuk, but you might be looking at someone like Josh Norris, who could fetch you something in return. So Saravalli says that the Senators are probably at a point now where they're starting to bang their head against the wall. This core is not necessarily working, and they're probably going to need to make a move if they want to shake things up. Now, the other big deal here is that Artem Zub, defenseman for the Senators, is now out long term, and Ottawa is aggressively hitting the trade market looking for a replacement on the blue line, so they could use Josh Norris to do it. So the deal here is that Josh Norris is potentially available out of Ottawa. They are looking at shaking up their core. They think that maybe he's the expendable piece here, and they would like to get a blue liner. So who does that mean that they're talking to? Well, we don't really know that much yet, but some of the candidates could be potentially somebody like the Pittsburgh Penguins with Marcus Pettersson. Now, you got to consider that Marcus Pettersson is a pending UFA, so it's not like Senators are going to move Josh Norris for a Pettersson who's not signed. If they can get an extension done, maybe. What about Jacob Trouba out of New York? There's a lot of talk about the Rangers and what they're planning on doing, and Trouba is one of those guys that they've said is available now. Would the Senators want Trouba? That's a real question. Would Trouba want to go to Ottawa? That's another question, right? It sounds like he'd prefer the Western Conference. So there are potential options here, but Josh Norris, the big story here is that he could be potentially moved by the Ottawa Senators as they look to shake things up. So we're going to keep you posted on this one on NHLTradeTalk.com. Anything that we hear about Josh Norris between now and then, we're going to add it to our story, so don't forget to check it out there. Talk to you soon.